Hey yo, this Saturday at D23, Kevin Feige and Marvel are about to shut it down. Like, I know we will be getting announcements for other properties, but I'm sorry, Star Wars, like, unless there is a major movie announced, Marvel has all the ammo they need to blow the roof off a Hall D23. I mean, from castings that have been rumored to projects that have been announced in the trades, Feige has all of the juice this Saturday. And being we are just a few days away from him taking the stage, it is time for my predictions and theories about what I think will be announced and revealed by Kevin Feige at D23. What's up, it's Kendall with Normies and Nerds. Before we get into it, please help me out and drop a sub to the channel because we're grinding to our first 1,000 subs. Let's get it. Because for real, like, if people really thought Comic-Con was something, they're probably gonna need to check their draws after this Saturday. Because I feel like he's about to pull out something special. So let's get right into it. Like, first off, I think we're getting a lot more information on upcoming Disney Plus shows, and that is huge. First off, let's talk about Secret Invasion. Like, so far, we've seen set photos, right? And there's really not a lot of people who seem to be that high on the Secret Invasion series and where it could go. And I personally, just by the way, am putting a lot of faith in this series being something really special. But I can't blame people who think it's going to be shaky. That being said, I think that it is time that we get a taste of what to expect in the series by way of a teaser, man. Like, in this case, I think that the teaser footage should be released online along with a release date. And by the way, I do think that we are getting the usual D23 treatment where some of the footage will be released online, but a lot of it will likely only be seen by people at the expo. But next up, I think a great surprise for Disney Plus shows would be to have the revival of two Netflix series play out on stage, that being Daredevil and The Punisher. The Daredevil Born Again series has been confirmed. There have been rumors going around that Bernthal will be returning for a Punisher series on Disney Plus. However, with both of those shows, there is still that looming question of whether or not the Netflix shows will be considered 100% canon. But regardless, just imagine Charlie Cox being on stage and we think he's wrapping up, but he would then bring out John Bernthal. Like, bruh, that would be completely wild. And to be clear, I think we are definitely getting some Daredevil info. However, the Punisher series and any info on that would be more of a surprise and a dream for your boy. I'm gonna cap off this part with Loki Season 2 and us getting information on the supporting cast. Because bruh, any information on Loki 2 will get the nerds buzzing. After we left off with Loki in Season 1, fans have been wondering what would be the next move, being that the multiverse is now in existence. But really, like, the juice lies within the people who are going to be joining Loki in Season 2. Like, there have been rumors of the Squadron Supreme being involved, and that would obviously be hinting at having the rumors of Henry Cavill joining the MCU as Hyperion. But regardless, like, I expect Season 2 to unravel at a much higher pace than Season 1, and would hopefully have a lot more involvement from Jonathan Majors, being that Kang is really open about running the TVA now. And ultimately, I do believe the show will go hand in hand with what goes down in Ant-Man 3, and I think that footage that they have already from this series may include Kang, and it could be shown at D23. However, I would not expect to see any footage from Loki drop online this weekend. But now there's shows like House of Harkness and Echo that I admittedly left off that list. I mean, we could hear things about those shows, don't get me wrong, but let's be real. Who really wants to sit here and hear me talk about those shows right now? However, when it comes to the animated shows, Marvel Zombies, What If, X-Men 97, and Spider-Man Freshman Year, I do not think we will hear much on those shows simply because of what we got at San Diego Comic-Con. And that's a different story when it comes to shows like Ironheart and Armor War. I believe, for one, like, we will have to wait until Wakanda Forever comes out before we get more information on Ironheart. I mean, I know they are filming the series right now, and that would be something for them to show off. However, I think that they are waiting to properly introduce her in the Wakanda Forever movie, which is honestly a smart move. And in the same vein, the Wakanda shows are likely in the same boat as well. However, with Armor Wars, I just don't really feel like it's the right time to drop that out. Like, we really haven't heard much about the series, and while I am absolutely hyped to see Don Cheadle lead an MCU show, because I think he absolutely kills any show that he's involved in, I just don't think we have anything to hear about on stage quite yet. And while I think the Disney Plus shows can get people hyped, the juice is in the movies. Look, I think that's where they're going to be dropping the real bombs. So hit that sub button and let's get back into these predictions, because I think the movies are really going to be taking over D23 as phases 5 and 6 will be filled out. Like, first up, like, I do want to talk about Wakanda Forever, because I think that they are going to be giving us another trailer, and with this one, it will more than likely not be that emotional type vibe that we got in the first one, right? Like, instead, I do think we will be getting more insight as to what is happening in the film story-wise. But Wakanda Forever is undoubtedly the most anticipated movie in Phase 4 outside of No Way Home, so we'll see what they bring to us. By the way, recast T'Challa. And I'll follow that up with major reveals on Ant-Man 3 and the Marvels. Like, for Ant-Man 3, like, I really love for them to have the actors come on stage and for them to release the trailer that they showed the crowd at San Diego Comic-Con. Like, I got to see my Kang. And for the Marvels, like, I like to see more of the supporting cast and rumors that we've heard about Inhumans and what have you be filled out. On top of that, I really would like to get Blue Marvel brought into the mix of this movie. Even though in the comics, like, that might not necessarily add up, I think this character would be a great addition to that ensemble in the MCU. But there's also speculation about Daisy Edgar Jones possibly being Rogue. And if that's announced here, that would be absolutely lit, bruh. Staying in the same lane of mutants, I think it's a great place to talk about Deadpool 3. Like, I think it is really likely that it will be the first mutant film that we get. And it's probably further along in production than any other plans they have with the mutants. I also think that it is time we get Ryan Reynolds on stage. So yeah, let's go for it all. Give us a little bit of juice on Deadpool 3 and confirm with your own mouth, Kevin Feige, that it will be rated R in the MCU. That brings us up to the next bombshell and whatever it may be called, a Mutants project. Look, there are rumors on a bunch of people who could be announced and joining the MCU as mutants. Like, in case you missed it, we have Denzel Washington, Giancarlo Esposito, and rumors that Wolverine has been casted, and also as well, I just mentioned Daisy Edgar Jones could be Rogue. So I expect to hear something about mutants, at the very least, at least a casting of Magneto, Wolverine, and Professor X. I think it's set the world ablaze. But then we get to the Fantastic Four, where I believe we will be getting a confirmation on who will be casted as Marvel's first family. But I would also pass out and drop dead if they give us clues at how the Fantastic Four will be brought into the MCU. Now, will it be from the past? Will this be an origin story? Or will it be my favorite theory that the Fantastic Four movie will be set in an alternate universe before they're brought into the 616. Regardless of what they give us though, as long as they announce the cast, I think that's enough to get people excited for what's to come. But for my final predictions, like, these ones are off the wall. First, I think it's possible that a Doctor Strange movie could be announced entitled Time Runs Out and added to the Phase 6 slate. Like, to me, it only makes sense that we revisit Doctor Strange after that post-credit scene in Multiverse of Madness, where he is going to be going to look into incursions. I'm excited to see where that could be heading when it comes to paralleling what we see in the Time Runs Out run before Secret Wars. I think that Doctor Strange will be the perfect catalyst for that, especially after Multiverse of Madness. Another off-the-wall announcement would be either a season 2 of a Wanda show or a Wanda movie picking up where we left off in the Multiverse of Madness. Honestly, I'd love for it to be a show because Wanda Maximoff, especially being played by Elizabeth Olsen, is the type of character that would thrive in a show more than her own movie, especially after the events of Multiverse of Madness. So I'm really hoping that if we get anything announced on Wanda, that it'll be a show, but that's really a shot in the dark. But lastly, like, I saved my most hyped thing, the thing I'm most hyped for last, that being an announcement of World War Hulk! Bruh, I just had to Hulk out because I'm absolutely hyped at the possibility of getting a World War Hulk. Look, there have been rumors before San Diego Comic-Con that it would be an announcement that a 5-part miniseries, or at least a 4-part miniseries, on World War Hulk would be dropped on Disney Plus, or would be announced to drop on Disney Plus. Like, regardless, so I would just be hella hyped for a World War Hulk for so many reasons. For one, like, Smart Hulk is overstayed his welcome. I'm not the only one that thinks that. A lot of people feel that way, and I think it's really just a consensus that Marvel is aware of. Like, we need a bit of Savage Hulk back. Maybe not completely Savage Hulk, right? Though, like, we got Maestro Hulk, we got Worldbreaker Hulk. Bring us into a little bit of world of that, right? But however, like, the World War Hulk stuff possibly bringing in Scar. I also have a theory about a red She-Hulk popping up at the end of She-Hulk. All of these things coming together, you also have Abomination out in the world. Like, look, I just think a World War Hulk project would be what we need to cap off Phase 5 right and to really get people's minds right about where we're heading. Because bro, like seeing Hulk come back and seeing what he may do in that form gets me absolutely hyped. And like, bruh, I hate to say it, because me a nerd boner, bruh. But look, let me know what you think in the comment section below about what you're looking forward to the most from D23. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.